We are, as you know, we are music detectives, and we like to get into a case, and when some no good nicks get out there and possibly goof off a little too hard,
Uh-huh.
we like to keep them honest. And this is
Andy.
what.
We keep them honest, Andy.
100%. But no, they're so if you guys have been watching, we've been keeping our fucking nose to the grind on this Dance Gavin Dance Tilian case. And there's some interesting developments. Did you read into any of these?
I was what do you mean the allegations as far as like what was going on? I
Oh,
thought this
so
was
for context
little.
for context for people listening, yeah, there was a fan that claimed that Tilian, lead singer of Dance Gavin Dance, like sexually assaulted her. There was a lot of he said, she said. Me and Pat, our general vibe on the matter was like I feel I'm trying to remember exactly what I said, but I remember being like, I'm inclined to believe the girl, but I'm not 100% sure because the way that Dance Gavin Dance and Tilian responded to it, it didn't put a lot of faith in me. Like
Yeah.
it didn't feel on the up and up and stuff like that. So I don't know, like, because here's the thing. I think in a lot of these, like, he said, she said things, people will be like, well, like, you'll have one party that goes, it happened. Then you'll have the other party that goes, it didn't happen. And
Yeah.
then you're kind of like back at zero.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a thing where I was like, this is my gut, but I'll be honest, I'm not 100% fucking sure. So I'm not going to make any hard stance on a matter. I'll just let you know what my gut tells me.
Right.
So that's where we're at, where I was like, I'm inclined to believe the gal, but I'm also like, I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
Yeah. So but what happened recently is so Tilian got up on Reddit and put up a big he called it a clarification. And I was gonna like whittle this down a little bit, but then I started reading it and it's actually not that long. So um
Yeah.
we can go through
Clarification,
what?
discussion. Clarification, discussion.
So we can go through this here. We can go through this real quick. He goes, I want to thank everyone who has supported the band's decision to allow me to return to recording and touring with them. I appreciate the patience of both my bandmates and the fans over the last few months. Despite attempts to be open and honest about our decision, there are still a lot of misconceptions about what happened in the past and why I'm into treatment. So it's become clear that I need to provide additional information that I had hoped wouldn't be necessary. I'm going to start with happened with Michaela earlier this year and give you a timeline. Forgive the straight to the point manner of delivery, but I want to lay down the facts.
That's what
Timeline.
we've been wanting this whole time.
Yeah, and yeah, we're you're kind of getting to what I was like. My fucking dismount of this whole thing is when we read through this, it's kind of going to get to a point where you're like, could you have just done this from the get go?
Yeah, literally. This is all anyone has wanted the whole time.
Yeah, because it's like, like the more I read, because if you read through it, it's a lot of because like so with this first young lady,
Yeah.
it's a lot of the info in the first end is like we hung out, had dinner, it was good, we texted, flirted, and then like this time we had sex, that time we
Right.
had sex. The most poignant one, um, yeah, because apparently I guess on April 26th
Uh-huh.
is when was like the biggest allegation, and he
Right.
was just like, I have the deets, I have the receipts to show like
Right.
yeah, he's like, I flew out to Spokane to continue the tour. She mentioned through text that she wanted to visit family in Cleveland and hinted at seeing me again, but I didn't respond. We didn't see each other the other day, but since then she has alleged online that some assault happened on this date to retroactively match her timeline because she bragged on the internet about our relationship on the 25th. If she were bragging about the relationship on the 25th, her original story wouldn't add up, that she felt wronged on the 24th. And yeah, at one point he says, yeah, at one point he says like that was the main matter at hand.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the thing that that got me kicked off the tour. That's what he meant. That's what he wanted to say, was just like, this is just for clarification. This is what I got kicked off the tour for. I had a consensual fucking relationship with the young lady, and then she said I didn't, and then now I'm here.
Yeah, and then she said, "Nah." Because like and here's the thing, the breakdown of it is good, but like the rest of it literally is just like, and then we did another consensual sexual type thing, and then another consensual thing. And but here's my thing, it's like in the same way that when one of the girls was breaking down the story, it just felt very honest. Like this, and here's the thing, he also has this huge Dropbox of like, I'll show you all the
Yeah.
text,
Here's
dude.
everything that happened. Here's every time we put mouths on genitals every single time. Here it is. Then we went to dinner. Then she came to the show. And then you know what I mean? Like all this other stuff. Like we went to back to the hotel, had sex again shortly after. You know, all this other stuff is like I if he did in fact have some kind of substance abuse issue, I would put into question maybe some of his recollection. What the fuck? But unless
Yeah.
he actually went over his old text messages or timelines of like, hey, we just had sex. Let's go to Denny's after this. You know what I mean? Like or something. You know what I mean? Like unless he's actually going through. But for the most part, if this is his like, here's what I remember, here's everything that happened. But really, like you said, the only one that really seems to stand out, the only thing we really needed clarification on was the nights in question. But that was the thing, was what are the actual allegations? Well, here's some days that she picked that were allegations, and here's a bunch of other days that we were just chilling out, fucking relaxing, eating some food, having some sex, going to some shows. You know what I mean? Like the shows that I'm assuming he means shows that they were performing, but still, like also apparently they fucked a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, have you've seen him? I would. But yeah,
I haven't
wait,
seen.
this one detail is my favorite part. It's so god because like the whole like breakdown of the timeline is like very mundane, where it's just not mundane, like there's fucking, and then he's like saying she sent her explicit pics and stuff like that. But like it's very like matter of fact the way they do it, and it almost seems very like sterile, like it's a fucking court document or whatever the fuck.
Uh,
But then you go to like May 5th, and this is when he started to be like, yo, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. May 5th, he goes, I texted her, thanked her for our time together, and broke off the brief relationship. She said she saw it coming, but understood. She then offered to spit in my mouth if I ever needed company, and that she needed her flannel back. She just
yeah,
like a hilarious detail because here's my thing. So and once again, I'm trying to avoid reading through this all just because of like the length of it. Because I know I said earlier that I was like it's not that long, but as I'm looking at it right now, I'm like that's gonna be boring as fuck to listen to. Um, but like I'm telling you, it's a lot of just very matter of fact statements of just like this is what happened, then this is
yeah,
what happened, and then she offered to spit in my mouth if I ever needed company, and that she needed her flannel, and he's just kind of like I don't know the energy of how he's just laying it out
yeah.
and just like
Here,
just laying it out. It's like okay, this makes me very inclined to be like this all seems on the up and up, and once again the Dropbox of text messages.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and then what is it? She texted and said she would be in LA and would like to see me. She said she loved to see me if I'm ever in Sacramento. I didn't respond. She came out publicly with her story, which did not resemble any truth that I knew. Some of the things she claimed I said and did were, in fact, things that she had said and done. Her story was not only factually incorrect, but also distorted and divorced from reality.
yeah. He saw this work out so well for Ariel Helwani, so he wanted to jump on and say, "Here's exactly what happened. Timeline, like hour by hour. We went to Denny's. We had
Yeah.
sex again. She asked to have sex with me. I said no, thank you. She spit in my mouth. I gave her a flannel."
Yeah, the matter of fact nature of it really does. I don't know. I feel like it gives him a lot of credit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I I'll
it
say this. I'll say this. There is a good chance that he's probably like a fucking pretty boy jerk off. There is always that chance.
yeah.
But he was charged with a pretty tall order. So I
Well,
think
exactly. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is if it's somewhere in between this, which is unfortunate, if it's somewhere in between her story and his story, then it is unfortunately still in the negative for him. But it still doesn't mean that, like, it seems like they were in a relationship, or let's say they had they had interactions they had some kind of relationship. Let's just say that. I don't know if they were dating. I don't know if they're boyfriend girlfriend or anything like that.
Well, I think what happens with these bands is you get like you'll go to different cities and you'll have girls you talk to in those cities, and it'll
Yeah,
be a thing where you're not like completely dating, but you guys are kind of like vaguely
have
together.
you have literally just a relationship, like nothing behind that. But you talk, like it's a friendship, but it's also more, but it's also not totally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just you have a relationship. And I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think it, like, she was one of however many that he probably, yeah, I like to hang out with you, you're pretty cool, we have some sex, we eat out, we go to a concert, you fucking love, you worship me because I rock, and then I come back and I fucking come on your face, and then we leave, and then you give me a ride back to the bus, leave me
Yeah.
alone. You know what
Basically
I mean?
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, this is weird, this is romantic. But if it's even any part of that, I'm sure there's been plenty of times where he's like, she's been like, oh my god, like, because like we're boyfriend and girlfriend, and he was probably like, yeah, all right, so where do you want to eat, you know what I mean, like it.
Yeah.
I'm sure, to me, that's what this says. Like, I'm sure it wasn't like he was like, I was very clear with her, this is what this is. Like, he's probably like, yeah, well, I don't live here, so.
Well, this part too also, like if this part's true, it also gives credence that this chick might be crazy.
Yeah.
Because he goes, she bragged to her friends online about taking advantage of me at a vulnerable time in my life. She repeatedly lied about how odd our encounters were while acting, and yet was affectionate with me in person and through text message. She said in her group chat that our sex was consensual. She stole my underwear and posted a picture of it in her group chat while
What is
demanding
this, a
my
fucking
vulnerability and
80s
grief.
movie?
What?
What is this, a 80s movie? What is this?
Yeah, she took my underwear and went into the bathroom and put it up like this, and then all the other fellow high school kids cheered.
Dumbasses. Sorry.
But yeah, no, apparently he's claiming that she was just being a fucking goon in text messages, being like, I'm taking advantage of this emotionally distraught pussy.
Dude, this is funny. She joked about taking advantage of
Tim.
Tim's grieving brother as her quote new target. Look for a song called New Target coming on the new album. New album, New Target, coming to Target this summer. According to her initial account, the third time we met up, she went out to dinner with me directly after there was an alleged assault. We had sex again the same night and sex again a week later. He's just like, I love how specific sometimes he is, and how he's like, we had sex. What kind of sex, man? Let's get into it. Like, if you're
Yeah,
gonna get into the details,
give
we
me
had,
every fucking sexy, sweaty detail, buddy.
yeah, what position were you in? Where were you, like, where were we doggy? We're talking reverse cowgirl. What are we doing?
Yeah. And then the second one's interesting because he does not have the same type of timeline for it. And he goes,
What's this one? Not as detailed. More
not
detailed.
as detailed. That first one was receipt heavy. This one's just like a quick blurb, like he was writing a fucking opinion on the back of someone's book. He's like, now I'm going to change the subject to the second woman who talked about her sexual experiences on the internet. In no way was my initial statement on June 2nd to, they got to use Reddit usernames.
Oh, here we
So he
go.
goes, in no way was my initial statement on June 2nd to Spooky Pookie 8 an admission of guilt or coercion. I was merely acknowledging her and the part I might have played in her feeling about our night together. In case my statement was not
Oh,
clear at the time, I also understood that the addiction with which I was struggling had taken over my life, and I needed to go into treatment and therapy to look at the impact it was having on every aspect of my life. Each of our sexual encounters were both verbally and physically mutually consensual. We had sex more than once that night. There was never an element of physical threat or coercion, and there was constant communication back and forth between the two of us. After we slept in my bed for a couple hours, I took her back to her car. The night ended with her kissing me and telling me she had a good time and would like to see me again. So here's my take on this one.
that one might be an assault.
I think something happened, but they
Yeah.
came to an agreement. There was a plea bargain, so to speak.
Yeah, there might have been some kind of there have been like, hey, sorry, no, I had a good time. Like, no, yeah, but like, are we cool? And like, she was probably like, yeah, and she just wanted to go. Like, I think she just, you know what I mean? Like, and there was probably, like you said, there was probably like so like next time when you're in town, like, do you want some tickets or you know what I mean? Like, some,
Yo,
like,
you just see Spooky Pookie 8 is one of the executive producers on the next Dance Gavin Dance album.
yeah, yeah, there's some
She
kind of
just gets
credit.
royalties.
Well, just because like I said, this one sounds like I think you're right. Like maybe he went too far at some point. And she was like, "No, I don't like that," and he was just like, you know what I mean? Like there, like you said, and maybe they still continue to have sex, and he was probably like, maybe I should have stopped. You know what I mean? Like I honestly, this one is pure speculation. The last one,
Yeah, 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 yeah. All
like you said, he
everything
had
we're saying is parody and speculation.
well, he had like you said, very detailed of like he's in the group chat. He's got an inside dog in that first one. The
Yeah,
second one might actually been a you know what I mean like that he might have
pretty
been a little
hard,
too,
pretty
he might
hard.
have goofed,
Whoopsie daisy.
he might have goofed a little too hard on this one
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He might have been goofing off a little too much.
and then like you said and again I don't know if there was an agreement but there might have been like again dude I gotta tell you if I may if
Please.
you're asking are we cool most likely you're not cool no matter what the answer is. But
Wait, what?
it doesn't mean that you're not going to be cool at some point. Like if somebody was like, think about every time you've ever asked, "Are we cool?" Like you always say it, and you always go like, "But more if it's more of the
You're not 100% cool.
I intend to be cool with you in the near future." But
Yeah, yeah.
right now, like we can't just go from not cool to cool. Like it doesn't like that's not even
It's
how
like
it
if you
works.
pre-order a video. It's like if you
You got to go to
pre-order.
war.
Sorry, I talked all over you. My
So
fault.
go for it.
It's like if you pre-order a video game. Like you own the game, but you don't have the game yet.
Yeah, yeah, it's yours, but it's also
Yeah,
it's like it's in the mail.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
it's on the way.
it's on the way. So it's one of those things of like your coolness is on the way, and maybe he might not have had the cool follow through. He might not have had the text afterwards of like the he might have just been like, well that's cool. I don't have to worry about that. He should have been
Yeah,
like, hey, it should have been a phone call the next day, like, hey, look, I know we said we are cool and everything last night, but like, can is there something I can do? Like, I really feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, it might have just been that, and maybe that person was like, look, you know what? I'm not fucking cool about it. And I think, like you said, I don't know what happened there, but we had sex, we didn't go to dinner, and that was it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like that's his explanation of the other one, and the other one's like, she's in the group chat talking about she stole my fucking underwear, and I'm like, what? Well, this is my favorite pair of underwear. They had drafts on them. I got them from Banana Republic, and I love those fucking underwear.
yeah. And he's like, she came to pick me up at 2:47. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I meant to say 2:49.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
He's like, well, that's the thing. It's like, because here's the thing. I know from
Don't
Spook,
overshare.
from Spooky Pookie's original post, she was like, they met on like a dating app and
Yeah,
like there's text with them.
yeah,
They have
yeah,
text.
yeah.
So like it's really funny to have like the fucking minute by minute breakdown of the first one.
Yeah.
Cause you know he didn't do that. Like that's the vibe I'm getting. He's like, I definitely didn't do this shit with this crazy bitch.
Yeah.
So that's why he's posting the minute for minute breakdown on the
And they're
first
like, yeah,
one.
but what about this lady? And he's like, yeah, well, I
What?
mean, yeah, we had sex.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah.
How about shut up?
I've been through enough. Did you hear my fucking bass player died?
He's fucking dead and I drink too much.
Yeah.
I drink
Okay.
too much.
I went to rehab, didn't I? I mean, so we're cool now, okay?
I'm sad.
I'm sad and I was on substances, okay?
Okay.
Like, you can't pick and choose when like I mean, okay, maybe you can. I don't look, man.
But no, that's the thing.
This is definitely more damning.
But that's the dude. That's the tidbit that I just realized right now, where I'm like, you have a Dropbox full of text on the first one.
Yeah.
You don't got one for the second.
They got no history.
What'd you do? What'd you guys text about?
Your guys' relationship was exclusively text for the most part of the relationship. You had very little. If you're meeting on a dating app, it's mostly you're texting back and forth and going like, yeah,
Yeah,
I
dude.
like music too. Like, no way, I'm in a fucking band.
It's text heavy, buddy.
Right. Yeah. So you got there's screenshots somewhere. So if you're not gonna share them, somebody's going to. And if you're starting to poke the bear, you're starting to go like, yeah, so we had sex and we were cool after that. I went to rehab, whatever. Anyway,
Dude,
so
if we get popular, I'm gonna be so afraid to go to concerts.
yeah, people aren't gonna like us. Like,
Yeah, dude.
but honestly, luckily most bands are fucking pussies, and I could beat most of them up anyway, so I'm not scared.
Nah, dude.
I'll protect
Well,
you.
yeah, but if you get their army of pussy fans, we're done.
I'm not scared of Dance Gavin Dance fans. No offense to you, Andy, but I am not scared. You are the alpha of the fans. What's that PR? What's that PR?
What?
What's that PR?
Oh, 355 deadlift. You're right. My deadlift means I can beat up any Dance Gavin Dance
Yeah.
fan.
I'll make him dead, and then you lift him. Okay, this is going to take a lot to get the 355.
Now, I just have this nightmare scenario where I'm at a Dance Gavin Dance show, and then Tilian stops the song and he goes, "There he is!
That one right there, the red one,
Get him! Get the red one!
the red one, the one with the ridiculous hillbilly."
He's the one who broke down my statement logically and deduced something that's probably true."
Girlfriends, get them.
All right, so yeah, man, it is what it is. I don't
Man,
know what
you're
else
really
to. I don't
stupid.
know what else to do at this point. Hopefully, this can be because I'm done. I gotta be honest. I'm done talking about this. Tillian, keep your shit tight. I don't feel like talking about you anymore, dude.
You're somehow the paradox in all of this. Like, you are in fact guilty and not guilty at the exact same time. I don't know how he does it, but he is equally definitely guilty and equally maybe not guilty. Like like this does not change my opinion whatsoever. He's done it again. He's he's done it again. Where I go, you fucking rascal! He's done it again.